Replacing a legend is never easy, but that's the challenge for Zach Stewart and Clark Harrell, who are competing for the starting quarterback role. Scott Stewart takes a closer look.
It's good competition. We got a lot of good quarterbacks here with Zach and Mitchell and all those guys. You know, it's good competition, and it just makes you better because it pushes you. And I feel like, you know, with me or Zach, either one of us in there, I feel like we'd win games. It would mean a lot, you know. I've always, growing up, you know, always known about ACU and its history, and it's always been a great program. So any time to be in that role would be an honor. You just got to accept your role and be a team player and support whoever's in there.
You know, the quarterback position on this team is kind of open right now. You know, Clark and I have been splitting reps with the ones, and you know, ready to fill that role of whoever's in there, and you know, go with that. Growing up in Abilene, kind of watched ACU football quite a bit, and kind of watched the guys that have come through this program, and you know, it'd be a great honor to be in there for the next couple of years, and you know, and lead this team to a few more victories. You know, when that role comes, you know, you just got to take it as it comes and be ready. You know, any play that the other one goes down, and you step right in.
I feel really good about the quarterback position. We've got two guys that are probably going to end up playing. Zach's actually been out in 1-2 games for us against tough opponents last year, and you know, Clark came in you know, late summer last year, and he's studied. He's had a year in the thing, so I feel really good. I don't know that we would be limited in what we're doing if either one of them were out there.
Well, Coach, Zach and Clark have the daunting challenge of replacing only the greatest quarterback in the history of the Lone Star Conference. Take us through, from the offseason through currently, through training camp, how Zach and Clark have done.
Well, you know, Clark, first of all, starting in January, had a tremendous offseason. I mean, he worked as hard as any player in our program and really had a great spring. Zach's was a little bit different, and he, you know, had shoulder surgery coming off the 2008 season, so his was more of a rehab assignment. Didn't get to go through any spring training. He was cleared right at the first of the summer, so both guys had the opportunity to really prepare this summer. What I've seen from both of them is what we expect: great commitment, great leadership, and they prepared themselves both to win the starting job. Obviously, one of them has to be picked to go out there and start the first game, but both guys have prepared really well, and we've been really pleased with what they've done.
Coach, besides the obvious playing ability, what are you and the other coaches looking for in a good quarterback?
Well, the first thing we look for really is toughness. I mean, you really three things: toughness, leadership, and intelligence. And the toughness part is both physical and mental. I mean, it's just such a highly scrutinized position that you can't be a guy that gets down on yourself when you don't do well, and you know there's going to be some good times and some bad times at that position. Physically, you have to be tough because you're a lot of times in a position where you can't defend yourself. You're throwing that ball and people are taking shots at you, so physically you have to be tough. But obviously you have to be very smart. We do a lot on offense. Our offense took a while for Billy to pick up, as it does any of our quarterbacks, so there's going to be a little learning curve for both those guys once they get out there. Zach's got a little bit of experience in the game. But the intelligence aspect, and then just leadership. Are you willing to show up every day, alert, awake, ready to go, and ready to improve? And those guys possess those things. And Mitchell Gale's had a good camp as well. A little bit inexperienced there, but he's worked hard too.
Well, I think about those two guys, Coach, and each brings something a little bit unique. One, you have Zach, who last season, after Billy Malone in the fourth quarter of the West Texas A&M game had injured his thumb, had to come in and play Tarleton State, which was nationally ranked at the time, and oh, by the way, homecoming, you know, with the whole alumni scene there coming back to campus. And then he went down and he beat A&M Kingsville. You can count on, you know, your hands the number of times we've gone down to Kingsville and won, and he won pretty handily on a night that Bernard got bottled up. So I think about Zach and how he played. But then with Harrell, you've got a D1 caliber quarterback, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, Clark's got size and a big arm, and Clark's got all the intangibles. He's a great guy. He's very intelligent, good leader. So with what you just mentioned with Zach and then the things with Clark, you've got a pretty good battle on your hands. And those guys they're going out there every day. They don't really look at it as a competition between each other. They're just going out competing against themselves, trying to improve every day. And they know that, I think they trust us that we're going to make the right decision. truth be told, both of them are probably going to have to step up at some point during the season, just like last year with like Zach did.
Coach, last year we had the chance to call names like Whiteside, names really that we had not called before. He was a redshirt freshman. 2 years ago, we heard the names Bernard Scott and Johnny Knox. We had no idea who they were or the fact that they would play well enough to be drafted in the National Football League. Obviously, it's a new class, some new people coming in. Give me a few names of people who I'll be calling from the broadcast booth and who fans are going to get to know this year.
Well, I'll start with those two positions first. At the running back position, we got three guys there that, you know, Justin Johnson's a transfer from Oklahoma. Daryl Richardson is actually Bernard's brother, younger brother. And then Reggie Brown from Blinn College was a leading rusher in the Texas Junior College League last year. Those guys have all had a great camp. They're battling it out. And same with that position, those guys will probably rotate. And then Kendrick Johnson at receiver has really impressed us in camp. He's a kid from Kilgore Junior College. And then on the defensive side, Marvin Jones is a big D tackle. We hadn't had a real big presence inside in a while, a 320-pound guy that can move around. And Courtney Lane at the outside linebacker spot might turn some heads. He's already earned a starting spot 2 weeks into camp. So there's some names out there that we're excited about that haven't yet surfaced, and hopefully as the season goes on, you'll see those guys perform well.
Turn some fans' heads and maybe turn the heads of some opposing players as well.
I hope so.
Danielle Manning, Bernard Scott, and Johnny Knox gave ACU fans a lot to cheer about on Saturdays. Now they're playing on Sundays. When we come back, we'll have the latest on all three in a feature we call The X Factor.
Thursday, August 27th, the new football season begins. Come cheer on the ACU Wildcats as they battle the Bearcats in a nationally televised season opener. Kickoff is at 7. Tailgating starts at 5. Come out early for food, music, and family fun. Get tickets now at acusports.com or call 674-CATS. Bring the whole family for just $25. As a special thank you to all the men and women who serve our country, military tickets are just $1. Pull on your purple for ACU football. Thursday, August 27th at SHOTWELL Stadium. Are you ready?